Well, well, well. I don't have a clever opening line. Hi, I'm going to move my hand though because that's going to get annoying. Welcome, another quick cheeky toy review. I bought this off of Kapow Toys, who I always link in the description because they've been one of my favourite resources here in the UK to get in hold of for getting hold of the Marvel Legends releases at a reasonable time, because UK brands like Forbidden Planet don't necessarily get them in at the right moment. Or can't get some, like in the case of Worthy Captain America back there, who was like a Target or Walmart exclusive. He didn't easily come to any UK stores, but Kapow Toys got him in on pre-order at the same time as the US. So I always peek at them to see if there's a Marvel Legends MCU figure that I really want. And I really wanted these guys. Now, if you've been following toy reviews on my channel for a while, you might be thinking, hang on, haven't we already half reviewed this set? Well, kind of, but not quite. We will get into that as we go, but let's take a brief look at the packaging for this lovely 2-pack. I love that they've sort of stuck with this design now for 2-packs, this kind of weird curved edge thing where it sort of matches the normal Legends packaging on the side. Like, so you could stack them on a shelf and they all sort of look uniform in a way, although these ones would of course stick out because they're twice as long. Got Red Guardian there with all of his accessories, and Melina with all of hers. It's a brilliant portrait of Rachel Weisz there on the side. Portrait of David Arbor there on that side, with a much trimmer beard than what he actually has in the film. Wow, there really is some inconsistency with the Red Guardian in the merchandise, huh? So, there's a double portrait of the two of them together. Let's have a quick look at the bio. As you can see, the bio says, after decades of service, Melina Vostokov distanced herself from the Red Room, but when Natasha Romanoff returns, Melina and Red Guardian must decide where their allegiance lies. Neatly summing up the Act 2 and Act 3 portion of the plot of the film Black Widow. Summing it up so well, in fact, that instead of doing the foreign language captions, it's the same caption in English 5 times. Remember we did the Disney Plus Vision review, and it was really weird that there had clearly been some spelling mistakes in the caption. Whoever's at Hasbro right now doing the captions, specifically the written captions for this packaging at the moment, proofread it, please? Or maybe, like, give it to someone else after you've written it for them to sign off on the draft, because, like, that's not a spelling mistake. That's 5 copy pastes, meaning that the usual, again, let's have a look at the She-Hulk packaging. The usual multiple language captions for sale overseas now don't exist on this one. Like, that's just weird. Another bugbear I have with it already before we even crack in is they are still insisting on the plastic-lined packaging when, for a brief shining moment a couple of years ago, mostly during, I think it was the Black Panther waves, if I remember correctly, the plastic was a separate tray within the cardboard, meaning it was much easier to recycle. But anyway, these are literally nitpicks. Shall we look at the toys? You've clicked on a review for these toys to see the toys, so let's have a look at the toys. Melina Vostokov, played by Rachel Weisz. Now, finally, custom figure builders can make an Eevee from the Mummy. Although you'd have to, like, really pale up her skin and draw on those weird eyebrows she had in that movie. Seriously, that film is a bisexual dream. Point is, it's a pretty good sculpt. It is pretty much the same body as the deluxe Natasha Romanoff figure. So, Natasha in her white uniform from the second act of the movie. Except with a few differences. We have the off-white cream-coloured patches on the gloves and the shoulders. That's different from Natasha. The backpack, I can't remember if Natasha's black. I'm just looking over at the shelf. I can't tell. But point is, you have a black backpack, junk in the trunk. Brilliantly, like all of our Black Widow so far, Yelena and Natasha, the gun belt is not just for show. Yes, it moves around and is a thingy, but it's got 2 functioning gun accessories in them. Ankle joints, as expected. Be very careful. Set them early on. So there's a Natasha in the background. Set them early on, so that they don't cause you any mischief or break when you're posing the character for display. No calf joint, 2 knee joints, thigh joint, crotch there. No waist. But a pretty decent rib crunch. Be very careful though, stretching it back because the backpack impedes the movement. Movement up here, one joint in the elbow. These hands flex down and up. The neck is a traditional neck. This is like the first figure in the Black Widow figures that doesn't have the weird sort of long neck with a ball joint and a separate thing at the top. So whether or not her head would be compatible with Natasha in the black outfit, so you could recreate the third act costume switcheroo without giving too much away for anyone who's not seen it. If you wanted to do that, it's possible that you could probably swap hers and Natasha's head around, maybe. So you could have Melina in the black outfit. She comes with two sort of accessories that won't focus. Two shock batons that fit in the backpack. She comes with a pair of gun hands, which she currently has, which cock downwards and upwards on the wrist. You have fists with the inwards-outwards thing, there's two of them. And two hands to hold the batons. They're not too dissimilar to the one she's got, but the one she's got have a slightly more pronounced finger to hold the gun. She also comes with, this is kind of cool, she also comes with a grapple hook. An honest-to-goodness grapple hook. I'm amazed this exists, and I'm happy it exists, because what a cool accessory. Turns out she's secretly a Batman figure. But yeah, that's Melina. Not bad at all overall. She's sort of... I think that the neck joint gives her a one-up over Yelena and Natasha in terms of the Black Widow figures in this series. Like, she's, because of that, sort of more reliable for movements and whatnot. Sculpt is really good. That is clearly Rachel Weisz as depicted in the movie. Ponytail. She actually has hair, unlike the previous two, where they sort of tried to simplify it. Little rubbery, so be careful. Maybe keep some super glue handy just in case it snaps off. But I'm really pleased with Melina. What about Alexei? Take a look at the Red Guardian. Now, I don't have a comic book equivalent figure of Red Guardian to make a comparison to, but what I do have a figure of to make a comparison to the Red Guardian is the Red Guardian, aka the figure that was released with the original Crimson Dynamo Build-A-Figure wave that had 4 Black Widow movie characters in it, namely Natasha in her black suit, Yelena, Taskmaster, and this Red Guardian figure. Now, we've reviewed this before. I like it. I like it a lot. We reviewed it before the film came out, and I speculated that it was based, perhaps, on a flashback, right? Like a flashback sequence. Because he looks a lot younger, he's got trim hair, trim beard. We got one flashback in the movie, minor spoilers incoming, and it's the intro. And in the intro, he's not the Red Guardian, and he's got long blonder hair and no beard. Maybe there was a cut scene. Maybe there was a scene that wasn't used in the film, in the finished product. Maybe this is one of those cases where Hasbro got hold of the stuff super early on. The promo art, the production art and whatnot, the concept art, and created it based off of that. Because if you've seen Black Widow, and you take a look at this Red Guardian, which certainly has something of the David Harbour about him, and then this Red Guardian, only one of them is accurate to how he looks in the movie. Yeah, as we said on the packaging, the version that's presented on the packaging here has a short beard. So maybe at some point they were going with a more trim look for the Red Guardian, but they didn't settle on one, so the fact that the toy was inaccurate was a bit weird. Also in terms of colouring. So, we can presume that this, like the star completely white and shiny, and the shield being all silver and shiny as opposed to this darker colour scheme, we can suppose that maybe how he looks on the right, on the left, sorry, of the screen, is how the Red Guardian looked in his heyday. Like, we could still sort of assume that, yep, that's how he looked when he was younger and was the superhero for Russia and everybody loved him. We can speculate on that, perhaps because of this accessory, the Red Guardian action figure, which, if you've seen the film, yeah, my cat's seen it. I don't know if you can hear her meowing. We're during the heat wave, so she's like just constantly uncomfortable. In a minute, she'll go and sit in the living room where it's cold. In the film, this is used to smuggle a spoiler into a spoiler for spoiler to use to help them spoiler. So I love the fact they've included it because it's a little bit of action figure inception. Is it posable? I thought it had leg joints for a second. No, it's just very well made. But this is the Red Guardian in his heyday, and he does not have the beard. He also has the Dark Star on his chest. So I think this is just an anachronism, essentially. It's like the US Agent figure that we reviewed the other week in the Disney Plus wave. It's not accurate. It's a good figure. This is a great figure. I like it a lot, but it's not accurate. So maybe if you're assembling a display with sort of the earlier heroes and stuff, like the old the T'Chaka Black Panther, or the cat's proper making noise. Luna, shush. If you're assembling like sort of older heroes onto a display, maybe you could get this one there, because he obviously wouldn't look like this back in the day. So there's a few key differences you can already see. Like the paint is different, the gloves have different darker marks on them. There is a dark outline that runs throughout the costuming that on this is just part of the sculpt and isn't coloured in. The boots and gloves and everything are actually whiter and cleaner on the new figure, whereas the old one's a little bit more washed out colour-wise. We also have all the different straps have different colour schemes to them. The back, let's take a peek. Yeah, the back gives you the most obvious colour difference. Like the original one has a more kind of, I guess, matted look to the red, whereas the newer one, it's a little darker. And speaking of red, that's the shield that came with the original Red Guardian, and that's the shield that comes with the new one. Like, they're the same physical toy sculpt, but painted very differently. So that's interesting. As it stands, we've ended up with two really fun Red Guardian figures, but only one of them's really screen accurate. So let's take a look at the new one, which is more screen accurate. Sorry, the old one's now trying to fall over. He's trying to showboat. So, posability. Same as before. Ankles, we have a calf joint at the top of the boot, double joint in the knee, swivel at the thigh, crotch joint. He does have a waist swivel. He has a pretty decent ab crunch. Or it should be a gut crunch. That's one thing that I do appreciate about both these figures. They use a stockier build, so he's not super slim, but it would have been nice if he had just a little bit more weight around the middle, a little bit more of a tummy. Wrist joints, folding downwards and upwards based on which arm it is, double joint at the elbow, the really awkward upper arm joint that just doesn't quite work on this one. Shoulders, and he does have the weird peg neck. Which, take a quick look at the helmeted head. I like the sculpt. The helmet's like not quite in place. It's a little rough, shaggy, which is good. You've got hair at the back. He does have the weird peg neck, as you'll be able to hear now. Oh, there he is. But that's all in service of his spare head, which is in much more accurate. Oh, it didn't even click on, it just sort of slid into position. David Harbour sculpt. I'm probably going to display this Red Guardian like this. I mean, he spends most of the movie looking like this. He comes with his gloved hands, but he comes with a pair of sort of gripping flesh tone hands, which again spends a big middle portion of the film without his gloves on and without his helmet on, so I'm probably going to display him like that. He also comes with the shield, as we mentioned, which clicks on the wrist, but if you fold it and swish it round, it can also mount on his back. It's, you know what, like, shoulder pose, like, nitpicks aside, it is a really good figure. I do wonder. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to pop off old Guardian's head. Excuse me. There we go. And put on the helmeted one from the new figure, if it will fit. Oh, bit of a squeeze, but it does go on. So, I now have the option, should I wish. I mean, the helmet paint colour doesn't match either body, which is really weird. But I now have the option, should I wish, to pose this guy with his shield in the background like that, and then have this one in the scruffier suit with his bare hands, and have him as sort of Red Guardian as we see him in the film proper. The fact we have the option is quite nice, so I'm probably going to do that, which is a shame because like now this head's a spare head now. Maybe I can stick it on Mysterio and pretend it's Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't know. Anyway, let's take a look at the family together, shall we? And there we have family together. It's really cool to see the three Black Widows and Red Guardian in one set. Like, it's honestly really, really, really cool. I am, for those wondering, yes, I've added a spare Infinity War vest to Melina to sort of pad her vest out because she was quite scrawny. Plus, you know, the vest has more significance now as far as I'm concerned. Probably not going to use this shield. Probably going to put that away. And have him like that on the shelf. A little bit more unkempt. I do now also have the older Red Guardian figure with the new helmeted head in action. No! And he's taken them all out because he's drunk on vodka. That's stereotypical. Watch the second act of this movie. They're all drinking vodka and torturing pigs. I'm not going to explain it. Go watch it. But the point is, I will probably have the spare head from Red Guardian on this older figure in the back of my display where the Black Widow figures are fighting Taskmaster. Because, you know, toward the end of the film he is fully uniformed up. And I'll have this guy chilling with these gals. But as for the Red Guardian Melina 2-pack, what do I think? I think if you enjoyed Black Widow, it's a really solid 2-pack to get a hold of. And I think if you already have a Yelena and a Natasha, this is a must-buy. You want to flesh out the family and have everybody there? Now you can. What about you? What do you think of the 2-pack? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you think of the movie? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Were you like me and you were like, it's fine? Let me know down in the comments below. Also, if you go to the description, you'll find a link for Amazon wishlist. I have toys on there. If you want to buy them for me, I'll give you a shout out and do a review. If you heard that sentence and went, "Oh, no, I'm not buying you stuff," hey, don't worry about it. You don't have to. No obligation whatsoever. I buy toys like this all the time and review them. But if you want to help out, it's much appreciated. You can like and subscribe if you enjoy these incredibly casual toy reviews that I mostly just do for fun because I enjoy making them. They're really simple and they make me smile. And I'll catch you again sometime soon for another. Maybe they'll release an action figure for this action figure to hold. That would be a stupid idea. It'd be really fragile.